I grabbed and kissed a stranger to save my life. Now, he won't let me go. Part 1. Trigger warning, mild blood and violence. I didn't mean to kiss him. I didn't mean to do a lot of things today, actually. Like running for my life through a train station in downtown, bleeding from my side, and trying not to pass out on the marble floor. Or shoving through crowds like some kind of wild animal, gasping for air, heart pounding like it's trying to crack open my ribs. I had a plan this morning. Coffee, emails, brunch with my cousin. Not this. Definitely not this. I glance over my shoulder and see them, 2 men in dark suits, moving through the crowd like sharks, calm, cold. One of them meets my eyes, smiles. I swear I feel it all the way down my spine. Shit. I was familiar with their uniform, having seen them 1,000 times before. Someone from my family ordered them. No one else could have. Why? I didn't have the luxury to think about it right now. They're getting closer. My phone's dead. No weapon, no backup, no way out. There was no point calling the cops. They'd be defenseless against these men after all. They were specially trained personal units. I push harder through the crush of bodies, almost tripping over a stroller, a backpack, someone's luggage. My vision's going a little blurry. I duck my head, trying to disappear, trying to think, but my blood's dripping onto the floor now, and people are starting to notice. If they catch me here, I'm dead. Or worse. Then, I see him. Black hair, broad shoulders, leaning against a pillar like he's got nowhere to be. A duffel bag at his feet and a scar running down the side of his neck. He's just there, watching. And I don't think, I just move. I walk straight up to him, grab the front of his jacket, and kiss him. Full on, hard, desperate. His mouth is warm, a little surprised, but he doesn't pull away. The world blurs around us, just noise and movement, shouts, footsteps. I press in closer, make it look real, like we're just 2 guys meeting up, like I belong here, with him. I don't even breathe until I peek sideways and see the men in suits. Pause. Look right past us, and walk away. Gone. Holy shit! I pulled back, dizzy, breathless, half expecting a punch to the face. But the guy just looks at me, calm, green eyes like a forest on fire. He raises an eyebrow. You done? I nodded, swallowing hard. Thanks. Sorry. I just... He cuts me off, picks up his bag, and grabs my arm. You're coming with me, he says. And just like that, I'm moving again, with a stranger, who I just kissed, and who might be the only thing keeping me alive. We don't go out the front. He drags me through a maintenance door near the edge of the platform, one I didn't even see until he was already opening it. I trip a little, still holding my side, but his grip doesn't loosen. He's fast, focused, like this is routine for him, like he's done this before. We slip into a narrow hallway that smells like oil and mold. Pipes run along the ceiling. No people, no cameras, just the sound of my boots scuffing against concrete and my blood dripping steadily onto the floor. What? Where are we going? I managed, breathless. Out, he says. The way they won't expect. He doesn't sound surprised, doesn't ask who I am or why someone was chasing me, doesn't even look confused about the whole kissing a stranger thing, just keeps moving like I'm not a total freak, like dragging injured rich boys through a train station is just part of his Thursday. Do you even know who those guys were? I ask, trying to keep up. He glances back at me, eyes sharp. Yeah, that's why we're not stopping. That shuts me up real quick. We take 3 more turns, through a boiler room, up a weird service ladder, and out a locked door he picks in under 10 seconds. Then we're in an alley, back in the open air, and I'm blinking against the light like a mole. He turns to me finally, chest rising and falling like he hasn't even broken a sweat. I, on the other hand, am on the verge of throwing up. "You're bleeding," he says. "No shit." He doesn't smile, just pulls off his jacket, black, worn, smells like smoke and something sharp, and presses it against my side without asking. I hiss, but he holds it steady. "You got a name?" "Chris." "Cool. I'm not telling you mine." Fair enough. Strangely, I'm okay with that. He'd already become something more than a name could hold, and something about him, silent, intense, unreadable, made me think he wasn't just being cautious. He was protecting something, or someone. I look up at him, really look, and I realize something that sends a whole new chill down my spine. This guy doesn't just know how to run, he knows how to survive. That kiss should have freaked him out, should have sent him walking the other way, but he's still here, still holding me up, still watching the street like someone might try to shoot me from a passing van. I don't know who the hell he is, but I think he might be even more dangerous than the people chasing me, and somehow, that makes me feel safer. The apartment is not what I expected. He doesn't say a word on the way there, just walks fast, head down, always watching. Me? I limp behind him like a kicked dog, blood soaking through his jacket and nerves on fire. We climb 3 flights of crooked stairs, in a building that smells like burnt toast and mildew. The hallway's dim, cracked tiles, peeling paint, someone's music playing too loud behind a closed door. He stops in front of one of them, unlocks it, pushes it open. "Inside," he says. I step in. It's small, bare, 1 room, maybe 2, a mattress on the floor, a shelf with half a dozen books, a beat-up desk with a laptop, and a gun sitting right next to it. No pictures, no decorations, like someone lives here, but barely. "Sit," he says, nodding toward the bed. I do, because I don't have better ideas right now. He goes straight to the sink, grabs a first aid kit that looks military grade, and kneels in front of me like this is just another Tuesday. "Shirt off." I blink. "Wow, no dinner first?" He doesn't even crack a smile, just waits. I give in and peel the shirt up slowly, wincing as the fabric sticks to the wound. It's not deep, but it's messy, like they wanted to hit something vital and just missed. He doesn't say anything, just moves closer, settles between my legs like it's nothing, and starts working. The antiseptic stings like hell, but that's not what gets me. It's his hands. Strong, steady, rough in all the right ways. Calloused fingers brushing skin they have no business touching this gently. His touch isn't clinical, but it's not exactly soft either. It's just focused, intent. And it does something to me. I try not to react, but my breath catches when his knuckles graze my ribs. He notices, pauses, then keeps going, tighter now, more precise. "You're lucky," he mutters. "Doesn't feel like it," I say, voice a little too low. His thumb presses just below the edge of the bandage, grounding me. Like he's not just patching me up, he's marking me somehow. I look down at him, black hair falling over his eyes, that scar on his neck, the sheer control in every movement. I shouldn't be feeling anything, but I am, and he knows it. The second his eyes flick up to meet mine, something shifts in the air, hot, tense, loaded with something sharp and electric. "Don't pass out on me," he says. "Not planning to. You look like you might. You're the one kneeling between my legs." His mouth twitches, almost a smile, almost. Then he finishes wrapping the gauze and sits back on his heels, eyes unreadable. "I need to call home," I mutter, barely thinking about it. The adrenaline's fading, and all that's left is the ache, inside and out. I dig out my phone, hands shaking. No signal. Of course. But his laptop's open, and I know enough to reroute through something. He doesn't stop me, just watches silently as I pull it into my lap. I try my father first, straight to voicemail. My sister? Nothing. My mother's assistant? No answer. One by one, I go down the list of people who have always picked up, always answered. Finally, someone does. Young master? The voice on the line is breathless, choked. Oh, thank God you're alive. Edgar? I exhale like I've been holding my breath for hours. What's going on? What the hell is happening? You must not come back. Whatever you do, don't return here. Hide. Run and hide. Wait. What? Edgar, what happened? Are they... The line clicks, dead. That's it. No explanation, no comfort, no answers. Just run and hide. I stare at the laptop like it might suddenly give me more. Like maybe if I wait long enough, someone will call back. But no one does. He must have heard it. The whole thing. His jaws tight, his hands clenched into fists against his knees. But he doesn't say a word. You shouldn't have pulled me into this, he says quietly. But you did. I thought I was going to die, I say. I wasn't exactly thinking straight. You kissed me? Yeah, I'm aware. His eyes burn into mine. Not angry, just intense, focused. Don't do that again unless you mean it. That shuts me up. He stands, pulls off his shirt. It's the first time I see the full scale of him. Tattoos across his chest and arms. Scars scattered like stories he'll never tell. He tosses the shirt aside and drops onto the mattress next to me, back against the wall, legs stretched out. I glance at him. He doesn't say anything, just sits there, like this is normal now, like we're sharing a room, and maybe a bed, and some kind of fucked up understanding neither of us agreed to out loud. And for some reason, I don't feel scared anymore. I just feel stuck with him, and weirdly, I don't hate it. We don't talk about the bed. There's only one, and the couch is basically a pile of springs pretending to be furniture, so we end up here, lying shoulder to shoulder every night, pretending this isn't weird. The first time, I stayed on the edge like I might fall off. Now, I don't even notice when I roll closer. Sometimes I wake up tangled in him. Last night, I had a nightmare. Some memory I wish I didn't have. I must have said something in my sleep, because I woke up to his hand on my back, firm and steady. He didn't say anything, just stayed there, holding me like it was nothing. But it didn't feel like nothing. Not to me. Now I lie awake, staring at the ceiling while his breathing slows beside me. He sleeps light, like he's always ready to run or fight, but when he does sleep, he looks young, softer, like maybe whatever he's seen hasn't completely ruined him. I turn to face him. His mouth twitches, like he's dreaming. I should look away. Instead, I whisper, "Who are you?" He doesn't answer, but I swear, for a second, his eyes flick open, just a little, and then close again. The power flickers around 2 a.m. I'm already awake, have been for hours, brain refusing to shut off. He moves quietly in the dark, grabs a flashlight, checks the windows. I don't say anything, just watch him from the mattress. When he comes back, he notices I'm shivering. I hadn't even realized. Without a word, he kneels, pulls the blanket higher over my shoulders, then, so carefully it almost breaks me, he tucks it around my feet. "You need to sleep," he says. "You're the one pacing like a serial killer." His mouth twitches. "I'll take that as a thank you." I don't answer. But when he turns to leave, I rush out, just for a second, and catch his wrist. He freezes. "I know you saved me," I whisper. "I just don't know who I'm supposed to be grateful to." He doesn't say anything, but he doesn't pull away either. I find him in the kitchen the next morning, sleeves rolled, knife in one hand, a skillet already hot on the stove. He's cooking. Actually cooking, like a person. He doesn't look at me when he says, "You haven't eaten a real meal in days." I lean against the doorframe. "Didn't take you for the domestic type." "I'm not, but I know what starving looks like." He hands me a plate. Eggs, toast, some kind of spiced vegetables. It's absurdly good. You cook like a spy pretending to be normal, I mumble through a bite. He shrugs. I did once, a long time ago. I want to ask. I want to pry into whatever crack just showed in his armor, but instead, I just sit at the table while he moves around me in that effortless way of his, danger wrapped in calm. It's the first time this place feels like something close to safe, and it's his doing. That's the part that messes me up the most. Later that night, I'm digging through a drawer for batteries when I find it. A music box. Old, scratched, wooden with a brass crank and a worn velvet interior. What's this? I ask, holding it up. He stiffens, just for a second. It was my sister's, he says, voice quiet. She died when I was overseas. I pause. That might be the first real thing he's told me. She liked music? He nods. She said it made her feel safe, even when the world didn't. I set it down gently. She sounds smart. He turns to look at me then, really look at me, and something shifts, breaks open. You remind me of her, he says. Not the way you look, just something in your eyes. He takes a step forward, closer, not touching me, but close enough that I feel it like gravity. I shouldn't have let you stay, he says. I shouldn't have let this happen. Then why did you? His jaw tightens. Because I don't want to be the man I was before. And what am I? I ask. Redemption? He shakes his head. No, you're the risk. And I swear to God, I feel myself fall a little right then, because he says it like I'm worth it. Like maybe the danger is the only reason he's still here, and I should be terrified. But instead, I feel warm, alive, wanted. It starts small, accidental. Brushing hands when we pass in the kitchen, his fingers on my wrist when he hands me something, standing too close in narrow doorways, normal stuff, kind of, but it lingers. Today, I was sitting on the floor, trying to patch up the hole in my shoe with duct tape like a total idiot. He came over, crouched down, and took it from my hands without a word. His fingers brushed mine, his knee touched my thigh. I looked up, he looked back. It wasn't lust, exactly, but it wasn't innocent either. Just this heavy silence between us, filled with things neither of us said out loud. Don't look at me like that, I muttered. He kept looking anyway. Like what? Like you know something I don't. That made him pause. Then he stood, tossed the roll of tape back at me. Maybe I do. I can't sleep. Not because of the bed, or the pain in my side, or even the usual hum of adrenaline in my blood. It's him. He's pacing again. I watch him from under the blanket, quiet, half-shadowed in the soft light from the hallway. He moves like he doesn't know how to be still for too long, like standing still might kill him. Finally, I can't take it. What is it? I whisper. He stops, looks at me, doesn't answer right away. You ever think, he says slowly, voice low, that maybe this only feels intense because we're trapped in it? I blink, caught off guard. You mean this? I gestured between us, vague and trembling. He nods once. This. I sit up. You regret saving me? No. Then what? He exhales through his nose, walks over, stops at the edge of the mattress like he doesn't trust himself to get closer. This isn't real life, he says. It's adrenaline, proximity, trauma bonding. Sounds like you've been reading self-help books. I shot back, too tired to be careful. He huffs a breath, almost a laugh, almost not. And then something just snaps. He steps forward, one knee on the mattress, one hand braced beside me. And then he's there. His face inches from mine, eyes storm dark and unblinking. You kissed me once, he says. Back when you were scared. I swallow. Yeah. So what's your excuse now? And then It happens. He doesn't wait, doesn't ask. His mouth crashes into mine, hard, desperate, like he's been holding back for days and suddenly can't anymore. His hand fists the blanket beside my hip. My fingers go to his neck, his shoulder, anything to hold on to because the room tilts and all I can feel is him. It's not gentle, it's not slow, it's heat and teeth and breath and everything we haven't said out loud. When he finally pulls back, we're both breathing like we just ran miles. He's staring at me like he doesn't know what to do now, like maybe that kiss just ruined something. I speak first, soft, unsteady. Oh no. His eyes flicker. Yeah. And then he gets up, leaves the bed, goes to the couch, lies down like nothing happened, like he didn't just light me on fire and walk away. I stare at the ceiling, lips still tingling, pulse screaming, heart punching my ribs like it wants answers. But none came, just silence, just him and a kiss I can't take back. I was digging through a drawer looking for batteries. That's it, just stupid batteries for the remote. But instead, I found a photo, old, faded, a group of guys in uniform posing in some desert, all squinting into the sun, and there, right in the middle, was him. Younger, rougher, same eyes. I stared at it for a long time. When he came back in, I didn't hide it. "You were military?" He froze, just for a second. "Put that back." I didn't. "You never told me. You never asked." "Yeah, well, I'm asking now." He looked at me, jaw clenched, eyes unreadable. "You don't want to know the things I've done." I swallowed. "Maybe I do." A long pause. Then he stepped closer, slowly, deliberately. "You keep looking at me like I'm saving you," he said quietly. "But one day you're gonna wonder if I was sent to end you." Then he walked away and left me standing there, photo in hand, heart beating way too fast. I wasn't looking for secrets. Okay, maybe I was. He was gone, out for supplies or whatever vague reason he gives when he disappears for hours. So I checked the top shelf of the closet, the one he keeps locked. I found the key in his jeans once while he was in the shower and, yeah, I kept it. Don't judge me. Inside was a folder, thin, old. I opened it. There were names, places, mission reports with redacted lines and blank ink smudges. At first, none of it made sense. Military stuff, coded lingo. But then I saw my family name in a sentence, then two, then over and over again, and I saw something worse. A list of targets. My name wasn't on it, but my uncle's was, my cousin's. Old money, political strings, people who were cleaned up quietly. It felt cold. By the time he walked in, I'd shoved everything back, locked the door, sat on the couch like nothing happened. He tossed a bag on the counter. "You okay?" I looked up at him, really looked. "Why do you know so much about how they operate?" He stilled, just like that, not even a twitch. "What?" "You always know what they'll do, what they won't. You knew what I was running from before I even told you." He didn't answer. "Have you worked for them before?" I asked, pushing harder. "Or against them?" "Drop it, Chris." "No!" He stepped closer, calm, dangerous. I said, "Drop it." And I should have. But I didn't. I stood, toe-to-toe with him, my heart thudding, my fists clenched. "I don't know who the hell you are, but I'm starting to think I was supposed to end up dead before any of this started." He stared at me for a long moment. Then he did something that completely threw me. He kissed me. Hard. Pinned me to the wall, hands in my hair, mouth, hungry like he wanted to shut me up with heat instead of words. And the worst part? I let him. Because even if he's hiding something, even if this is all tangled up in lies, I still want him. And I don't know what that says about me. I didn't sleep that night. He did, deep, quiet, like he hadn't just slammed me into a wall and stolen the breath from my lungs, like he hadn't refused to answer a single damn question. I lay beside him, wide awake, trying to memorize the shape of his body in the dark. The next day, I followed him. Not far, just enough. He met someone in the alley 2 blocks over. Tall guy, military haircut, plain clothes, 0 eye contact. They talked fast, low. I couldn't hear the words, but I saw him hand over a flash drive. When he came back, I was in bed, pretending to nap. That night, something shifted. He touched me like he was trying to forget, like he needed to claim something. His mouth was hot, desperate. His hands weren't careful. They were needy, bruising, possessive. And I let him do it, because I wanted to feel something real, even if it was rough, even if it burned. Afterward, he wrapped an arm around me, lips at my neck, breath steady again. I lay there, head against his chest, listening to his heartbeat. "I know you're lying to me," I whispered. He didn't answer, but he didn't let go either. It started like any other shitty morning, quiet, tense, rain dripping down the cracked windows. He was making coffee, I was pretending to read. Then, the knock. Not even a real knock, just this hard, heavy bang at the door that made every muscle in my body go tight. He looked at me once, no words, just grabbed the gun from under the sink and moved, fast, like muscle memory. "Back room," he said. I didn't move. "What's going on?" "Now, Chris." Then the door exploded open. I ducked behind the couch as bullets tore through the room like fire. He was already returning fire, silent, precise, like he'd done this 1,000 times. There was blood. His or theirs. I didn't know. My ears rang. My heart tried to punch its way out of my chest. He dragged me down the hallway, pushed me behind the bedroom dresser, shoved a gun into my hand. "Stay down. Don't miss." I wanted to scream, ask him what the hell was happening, but I didn't, because I knew. They'd found me, and they weren't here to talk. We held them off, somehow. I don't know how long it lasted, maybe 10 minutes, maybe a lifetime, but when it was over, the floor was covered in broken glass, the smell of gunpowder, and one body slumped near the door. I was shaking. He wasn't. He leaned against the wall, blood dripping from his arm, eyes on me. "You okay?" he asked, like it wasn't obvious I was falling apart, and I finally snapped. "What the fuck is going on?" I yelled. "Who are you? How do they know where we are?" He didn't answer right away. He just looked tired, like something inside him had finally cracked. "You were never supposed to be in this deep," he said quietly. "But I should have known. I should have known they wouldn't stop." I stared at him. "What does that mean?" He met my eyes. "It means I knew who you were from the beginning." He patched himself up in silence. I watched him from the doorway, still holding the gun, hands numb. "You knew me?" I said, voice hollow. "Yes. From the train station. Before that," I swallowed. "Were you sent to kill me?" "No, but you've killed people like me." He hesitated. That was answer enough. I sank onto the bed, legs giving out. He came to sit across from me, didn't reach out, didn't pretend. "I was in Black Ops," he said. "Deep stuff, no names, no rules. Funded off the books by people who thought they were saving the world. People like your family." My stomach turned. "We did things," he went on. "Raids, cleans, took out entire buildings because someone whispered a threat. I followed orders, until I couldn't anymore." I looked at him. "Why?" He took a long breath. "Because one day the file on the next target landed in my hands, and it was a kid. Just a kid. His only crime was being born to the wrong people." "And you didn't walk away after that?" "I tried. But you don't walk away clean from people like that. They hunt you." I stared. "So what? You saw me and what? Felt guilty?" He laughed once, dry and bitter. "No, I saw you, and I knew who you were. But you looked so damn lost, and when you kissed me, I couldn't do it." "Do what?" "Turn you in." I shook my head. "You're not a hero." "No, I'm not." I stood. My hands were shaking again, but not from fear this time. "You dragged me into this?" "I saved your life." He stepped closer. "And I'd do it again." He reached out then, slow, tentative, like he wasn't sure I'd let him. "Chris," he said, voice breaking for the first time, "I can't let you go." And God help me, I didn't pull away. His fingers brushed my jaw, his touch light but steady. "I've told you everything that matters," he murmured, "except one thing." "What?" "My name." That caught me off guard. I didn't even realize how badly I wanted to know until the moment the words left his mouth. "Ansel." It landed like something final, like a truth that couldn't be taken back. I whispered it. "Ansel?" Then just like that, something shifted between us again, undeniable and irresistible. We weren't strangers anymore. The place was falling apart, that much was clear. The walls creaked, the floorboards groaned, and every time I thought I could take a breath, I felt the weight of someone watching me. He knew it too. He was on edge, more than usual, quiet, detached, but in the way that said something's coming. "We can't stay here anymore," I said, sitting on the couch, my head pounding from the sleepless nights and the stress that never seemed to let up. "You know that, right?" He didn't look at me right away, just stared out the window like he could see everything that was coming. He grunted, like he was agreeing, but there was something else in his eyes, something deeper. "I know," he said, finally turning to face me. "But where the hell are we supposed to go?" I shook my head. I didn't even have an answer. We were running out of options, out of time. And then, just like that, everything exploded. The windows shattered, the walls shook, and the floor rumbled as if the world itself was breaking apart. I dove to the ground, heart racing, and tried to make sense of what was happening. Gunfire, screams, fire. "Get up!" Ansel grabbed me by the arm, hauling me to my feet like I weighed nothing. His eyes were wild now, hands shaking. "We move now! Now!" I nodded, feeling the panic claw at my chest. I didn't even think about where we were going anymore. I just followed him. We made it to the door, and then I heard the voice. "Chris!" It was his voice. The one person I never thought would show up. My step-uncle. I froze, panic flooding my veins. How the hell did he find us? I asked, breathless. He didn't answer. His eyes narrowed, his jaw clenched. The apartment was a disaster. Smoke filled the air, thick and choking. I could barely see through the haze. The door hung off its hinges, walls cracked and scorched. The scent of burnt wood and something far more acrid clawed its way into my lungs. I called out for him, but he was already moving, disappearing into the smoke like a shadow made of muscle and rage. And my body, stupid, loyal thing, moved after him before my brain could catch up. I couldn't be left behind, not now, not ever. But just as I rounded the corner, I saw him, the man who'd been hunting me. He stood in the center of the chaos, smoke curling around him, silhouetted by flames licking up the far wall. I froze. Then rough hands grabbed me, dragging me back with a grip that burned. "Don't!" Ansel growled, voice deadly low, eyes burning through the haze. His grip on my wrist was iron. "Don't go near him!" My pulse hammered. "He's here. He's the one who did this." Ansel's jaw clenched. "He's not who you think he is." "Then what the hell are we doing here?" I shot back, chest heaving. He stared at me, then really stared. His face was unreadable, carved in tension. "You're not a hostage," he said, his voice rough. "But you sure as hell aren't just a lover either." The words hit harder than they should have. "What do you mean?" He let out a harsh breath, looking past me like he couldn't bear to say it to my face. "You weren't supposed to survive, Chris." My blood ran cold. "They wanted you dead from the beginning." He turned to face me, eyes sharp and haunted. and I was supposed to let it happen. The silence rang in my ears. But I didn't, he continued, quieter now. I couldn't. The second you kissed me, I knew I was already compromised. I stared at him, stunned. So, you knew the whole time? And you didn't tell me? I was trying to keep you alive by lying to me? He stepped closer. By protecting you from the kind of truth that gets people killed. My voice shook. You should have let me go. I couldn't. His voice cracked, just slightly. And I still can't. His hand reached for mine, not grabbing, just holding it open between us like an offer. I should have pulled away. I didn't. And then, gunfire. A single crack shattered the moment. We both jerked at the same time, instincts colliding. Ansel moved fast, stepping in front of me before I could blink, body tense and ready. Stay behind me, he ordered, voice cold and sure, like steel drawn in the dark. No matter what happens, you're mine now. The door burst open with a force that shook the walls. Gunshot. Cut to black. The first thing I feel is his breath on my neck. Warm, steady, real. For a second, I think I'm dreaming again. Those soft, slow ones where nothing hurts and he's always there, close enough to touch. But then, he shifts behind me, arm tightening around my waist, and I realize, this is real. He's real. Ansel presses a kiss just below my ear, lazy and half asleep, and I smile into the pillow. Morning, I mumble. Still dark, he mutters, voice rough from sleep. Illegal to talk. I laugh, and he pulls me tighter like that sound is something he never wants to lose. His hand slides under my shirt, fingers warm against my stomach, and suddenly I'm wide awake in the best way. He kisses the back of my neck again, slower this time, hungrier, like he's memorizing me all over again. You're clingy in the mornings, I tease. You're warm, he murmurs, trailing kisses down my shoulder. And soft, and mine. The words hit me harder than they should. Still not used to them. Still not used to this. The quiet, the safety, the way we fit so perfectly in this creaky bed with the sea wind slipping through the cracked window. We stay like that a while, kissing, touching, not rushing anything, just being. It's dangerous, how easy it is to imagine this forever. But right now, wrapped in his arms, with sunlight just starting to leak into the room, I let myself believe in it. Just a little. I still can't believe it was only 2 days ago when it all went to hell. One moment, we were breathing easy, out of the fire and into the calm. Then, bam, the gunshot rang out, and everything went black. Ansel's hand was already on me, pulling me low, dragging me into the shadows. I didn't even have time to think before the next round of shots blasted past us. Too close, too fast. My heart thundered in my chest as he shoved me toward the alley, pulling me through the wreckage of our escape, like it was second nature to him. It was my step-uncle. The bastard had been pulling the strings from the start. I'd been running from him the whole time, thinking I was escaping the family's sins. But no, it was him. And now he was here. Move! Ansel grunted, dragging me through the darkness, keeping us one step ahead of death. His voice was steady, but there was a dangerous edge to it that made it clear this wasn't over. We didn't stop running, not until we were deep in the shadows of the city, surrounded by places I didn't even recognize, streets that felt like another world entirely. No one else was stupid enough to be here, but it didn't matter. We were still alive, for now. 2 days later, and it feels like a lifetime. The gunshot still echoes in my mind, and yet, here we are, hiding out in some remote coastal town where nobody knows our names. I try not to think about my family, don't know where they are, if they're even still alive. My uncle's game is bigger than I ever imagined, and I'm stuck in it, whether I like it or not. But right now, I don't care. I'm alive. We're alive. And I'm holding on to this fleeting peace like it's the only thing left. The rest of it, my past, my family, the mess I left behind, can wait. Ansel's beside me, asleep, his chest rising and falling steady. In this moment, the chaos outside can't touch us. I just have to believe it'll last. It was one of those quiet nights where the world felt far away. No nightmares, no shadows creeping in. Just the soft hum of the ocean outside, and Ansel's skin warm against mine under the covers. We were tangled up, legs all over each other, my head tucked under his chin, while he lazily traced patterns on my back. I shifted a little, kissed the spot right above his collarbone, and he hummed, half asleep. His fingers curled around mine under the blanket. Then he mumbled, voice low and rough with sleep. "Marry me." I blinked up at him, a surprised laugh catching in my throat. "Are you dreaming right now?" He shook his head slowly, barely opening his eyes. "No, I'm serious. I want this. You. Every night, every morning. I can't imagine my life without you." Before I could even find words, he leaned down, kissed me slow and sweet, and then, just like that, he passed out with a tiny smile still on his lips. And I laid there, heart thudding, staring at the ceiling like a complete idiot, because it was insane, because we'd been through hell, because I still didn't know everything about him. Hell, I barely knew everything about myself after what we survived. But even with all that, I knew this much. I was crazy in love with him. And if he ever asked me again, while fully awake and maybe with a ring and less drool on his pillow, I might just say yes. I woke up with the kind of smile that only comes when you've slept deep and warm, wrapped in the soft silence of a place you know is safe. Ansel was curled around me, his breath slow and steady against my neck, and I couldn't help but press a kiss into his messy hair. Thinking about how we'd gotten here, together. No more running. In my dream, everything was perfect. My family was there, all smiles and laughter, like we weren't fractured, like everything hadn't fallen apart. I was introducing Ansel to them, proud as hell to finally show the man who'd saved me, the man who made me feel like there was more to life than just surviving. My mum was beaming, my dad's gruff voice telling Ansel he could join the family barbecue any time. It was that dream, the kind you don't want to wake up from, the kind where the world is whole again. And then, something shifted. The floor beneath me wasn't the bed anymore. It felt like I was floating. No, falling. My eyes snapped open, but before I could move, before I could even scream, the cold steel of a needle bit into my arm. My vision blurred, my muscles locking up like they didn't belong to me. Panic surged, but it was useless. I couldn't feel my limbs. I couldn't fight it. By the time I managed to force my eyes to focus again, the world was spinning, and I was no longer in our little house by the coast. It was somewhere dark, the hum of engines beneath me, and the oppressive scent of metal and stale air wrapping around me like a suffocating blanket. I tried to move, tried to shout for Ansel, but my throat wouldn't cooperate. My voice was nothing more than a raspy whisper, swallowed by the roar of the jet engine. And then I heard the voice, cold, faintly amused, like everything was just a game. "Your boyfriend can't save you this time." I barely had time to register the voice before my eyes locked onto the figure standing in front of me. The one who had tried to kill me before. The man who wore my family's betrayal like a crown. It was him. His smile spread slowly, dark and satisfied, like this was the moment he'd been waiting for. I was breathing in panic, trapped in a hell of my own making. My mind raced. Ansel, he couldn't know where I was. He couldn't. But there was nothing I could do. Nothing but the hollow thud of my heart, echoing in the silence that followed. I couldn't even bring myself to look at him at first. I was too busy trying to focus on the sharp sting in my wrists, where the ropes dug into my skin, the aching pressure behind my eyes. The world was spinning again, but it didn't matter. He was here, the man who'd ruined everything. "You look surprised," he said, his voice thick with that same smug satisfaction I remembered from the past, when he was untouchable. "I'm sure you thought I was done for after your father put me behind bars." His laugh echoed in the room like nails scraping metal. "But no, that was just the beginning." I clenched my jaw, fighting to keep my hands from shaking. He strolled around me like he owned the place, his every step calculated, his eyes gleaming with something darker than hatred. Greed. His eyes never left mine as he spoke, savoring each word. "You've been a thorn in my side for too long, Chris, and now you're the key to everything I've ever wanted." I swallowed hard, trying to ignore the way my heart clenched at the mention of my father. I still couldn't wrap my head around it. The bastard killed him. "I know you're probably wondering where your precious family is," he went on, his words sharp and deliberate. "I found your father, of course. He made his little mistakes, and I had to correct that, didn't I?" The world tilted, and for a moment I felt like I might lose it. "You... what?" I forced the words through my clenched throat. "You killed him?" His smile was slow and cruel, and when he spoke again, it felt like every word was a weight pressing down on my chest. "He had to go. Your father wasn't going to just step aside for me, was he? So, I had to fix that. I had to take control." I shook my head in disbelief, tears prickling at the back of my eyes. Not now. I couldn't let myself break in front of him. "You're lying. You're sick. You killed him, and now you're after me for what, exactly? You want the estate, the company, the property? You—" He cut me off with a dark chuckle, leaning in close enough that I could smell the faint scent of his cologne, so familiar, so nauseating. "I was an idiot," he said, and his voice dropped low, like he was sharing some twisted secret with me. "I thought I could get rid of you, take everything, and walk away. But then I found something. Something that makes you far more valuable than your family's little empire." I couldn't breathe. The blood drained from my face as my stomach twisted. I knew where this was going. I had an inkling, but hearing him say it out loud was like being slapped across the face. "You," he continued, savoring the moment, "you have something inside you, a code. I should have known. Your father never trusted me with the really important stuff. He kept it all in you, didn't he? That little biometric code embedded right under your skin." I froze. My heart stopped beating for a second. The code. His smile widened when he saw my reaction, the sick satisfaction rolling off him in waves. "Yeah, the key to all of it. Billions, Chris. The accounts your father hid away, hidden from everyone except you. All you need to do is unlock it, and the empire is mine. The money, the power, everything. Your father's mistakes, they're all going to pay off. All I need is for you to help me get what I deserve. You can do that for me, can't you? You're the only one who can." My mouth went dry. I didn't even know what to say. I had no idea that the code was inside me. I thought I was just some piece of the puzzle they wanted to destroy, but this was something else entirely. "You're insane," I managed to spit out, the words tasting like ash. "I'm not doing anything for you." He laughed again, the sound echoing in the cold, sterile room. "You don't have a choice, Chris.
I was stupid to let you live this long, but now, I'll make sure you do exactly what I say, or your precious Ansel, well, he won't be around to stop me."
The words hit like a punch to the gut. My blood ran cold.
"I'll kill anyone who gets in my way, and that includes your precious family if I have to,"
he added, his tone turning darker.
"But you're the only one who matters now. You're gonna help me unlock everything I'm owed."
I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. He was right. I was the key, and no matter how much I hated it, no matter how much I wanted to fight back, it didn't matter. He was right. He had me. It's a game. I don't even know why I still try to fight it. They've put me in a room with walls that are too soft, too quiet. It doesn't make sense, but nothing about this place makes sense. Every inch of it is designed to break me down slowly, carefully. No abrupt moves, no sudden jolts, just small, steady torment until I forget who I am. The air is thick with the scent of lavender, the faint hum of something buzzing softly overhead. It's all so fake, so calculated. They bring me meals, but I never asked for them. They slip the drugs into my food without me even noticing, and I can already feel the fog settling in my brain again. My limbs are sluggish, heavy. It's getting harder to focus. He comes by every few hours, my step-uncle. His face is always the same, smug, cold. He doesn't even need to say much to make my heart drop. Just his presence makes it all worse. He knows what I'm thinking. He knows how much of me he's already destroyed.
"You're still thinking about him, aren't you?"
he asks, his voice smooth, teasing.
"Ansel, I know you are. You've been whispering his name in your sleep."
He leans closer, his smile widening.
"I'm sure you thought he was out there looking for you, but the truth is, he's long gone by now. I'm sure by the time he hears about your death, he'll have moved on. He'll forget, just like everyone else."
I can't help it. His words sink in, like sharp nails being driven into my chest. No. The word is a whisper, a protest. He's coming. He's going to find me. I know it. My step-uncle just laughs, low and dark.
"Oh, Chris, you really are a dreamer, aren't you? He won't save you. He's not going to risk his life for someone like you, not when the cost is this high. You're alone, just like I knew you'd be."
But I refuse to let him win. I push back, burying the doubt deeper, locking it away with everything else I'm trying not to think about. He'll find me, I say again. My voice sounds shaky, but I don't care. I cling to it, because I have to. And deep down, no matter how many lies they feed me, no matter how dark it gets in here, I know it's true. He's out there. Ansel is out there. He'll find me. He'll come. Because he's never walked away from me before. Not when it mattered. He won't now. The floor is cold under my bare feet. Concrete. Damp. I've stopped trying to tell time. There are no windows, no clocks, no real sleep. Just flashes of consciousness between whatever drug they've been pumping into my veins. Some days, I see my mum's face. Some nights, I hear Ansel's voice whispering in my ear, telling me to hang on. I never know what's real anymore. Maybe none of it is. Maybe I died already, and this is just the in-between. I'm curled up in the corner of the room when it happens. First, a bang, loud, close, then another, and another. Voices yelling, boots stomping, screams, something crashes, maybe a door, maybe someone's skull. I don't know. Everything's a blur, but my body tenses on instinct, my heart races. They've come to move me again. I drag myself up, hands shaking, legs weak. I can barely stand. I brace myself for another guard, another needle, another day of nothing. But then, I see him. Ansel. Blood on his shirt, a weapon in his hand, his chest heaving like he just ran through hell barefoot and came out on fire. And those green eyes, wild, desperate, locking right onto mine like he didn't believe I was real until this second. Chris! I don't move. I can't. My legs buckle, and suddenly I'm falling, but I don't hit the floor. He catches me. Strong arms wrap around me like a cage and a lifeline all at once. He's shaking. Or maybe I am, or both. You shouldn't have come. I breathe out, barely louder than a whisper. I'm not even sure he hears me. But he pulls me in tighter, like he's trying to make us one person. Too bad, he growls against my skin. You're mine. I could cry, but I don't. I just bury my face into his neck and let myself feel him, solid, alive, here. He carries me out, even though I tell him I can walk. I'm lying. I can't. We escape through smoke and broken walls, slipping into shadows. There's a car waiting. Stolen, probably. He doesn't say. We drive through the night. Ansel drives like a man with nothing left to lose. His hand never leaves mine. But I can feel it. Something wrong inside me. A thrum under my skin, like static. My hands twitch sometimes, uncontrollably. My vision blurs and flashes. My heart skips beats. The drugs they gave me. They weren't just to sedate me. They were activating something. Something in me. I glance at Ansel, at the hard line of his jaw, the fury still etched in his face. I don't say anything, but I know. This isn't over. Something's happening to me, and it's only getting worse. I was coughing up blood in the back seat of a stolen car when Ansel said the words that made my stomach drop. There's a tracker. He didn't look at me when he said it, just kept driving, jaw clenched, knuckles white on the steering wheel. I could hear the hum of panic underneath his voice, though, the kind he never let anyone else hear. A tracker, somewhere in me, on me. Something was pinging my location like a damn flare gun. That's how they kept finding us. That's why we couldn't rest. 3 countries, 4 aliases, burned passports, and fake hospitals, and still, they always came. I wanted to scream. Instead, I blacked out. I woke up in a basement somewhere in Romania, probably. A cold table under my spine, fluorescent lights buzzing above. My chest felt like it was going to split open, my skin too tight around something that didn't belong to me. Ansel sat beside me, holding my hand. His thumb moved in slow circles over my knuckles, like he could ground me with just touch. But his other hand was on his gun. Across from us, a man with shaking fingers and vodka on his breath said he could get the code out. He was a disgraced surgeon, used to work on cartel clients, and apparently owed Ansel a life. He looked terrified just being near me. "This isn't like removing a bullet," he muttered. "It's embedded, messy. You'll need luck." I looked at Ansel then, just stared at him through the pounding in my skull. If something happens," I said, "promise me you'll burn the world before you let them take me again." Ansel didn't answer, but his grip tightened. The moment the scalpel touched my chest, everything inside me screamed. Monitors lit up like fireworks. My body jerked without warning, pain tearing through me like fire in my veins. I could feel the thing, the code, the chip, whatever the hell it was, fighting back, like it had a will of its own. And then, boom. The lights went out. Screams, footsteps, gunshots, my heart flatlined. I couldn't see, could barely hear, just the sound of boots, a body hitting the floor, and that voice, cold, mocking, so damn familiar.
You really thought it would be that easy?
My step-uncle. I don't know what came over me. Even drugged, bleeding out, skin on fire, I moved. I didn't wait. I didn't think. I just grabbed the scalpel from the tray beside me and stabbed straight into his gut. He gasped, eyes wide, hands on mine, blood pouring over my fingers. I leaned close, shaking. You should have killed me when you had the chance. He collapsed before I could say anything else, and then everything went black. The pain was different after the surgery. It wasn't sharp or screaming anymore. It was dull, deep, lingering, like something had been dug out of me and left a crater behind. But at least it was quiet now. No more alarms in my blood, no more codes or convulsions, or men with guns chasing us through foreign cities. The bastard was dead, and I was finally free. Except, sometimes freedom feels like too much space. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, sheets clinging to sweat, my throat raw from screaming, and Ansel would already be there, holding me, not saying a word, just holding, like he knew there was no right words anyway. One night, I couldn't take the silence anymore. I just said it, into the dark. I feel broken. You're not, he said. You don't know that. He was quiet for a second. Then he sat up, back resting against the old motel headboard. I need to tell you something, he said, before we go back to pretending we're okay. I looked at him, heart thudding. He didn't look afraid, just tired, honest. You know, I used to do Black Ops, he said, off the books, ugly stuff, and I backed out after a mission went wrong. Actually, it was your dad who pulled me out. He gave me a clean record, a new name, a second shot. In exchange, I worked for him, quietly. Nothing shady, just protection. Mostly watching you. I blinked. Watching me? He nodded. There was a day, months before all this, you were sitting on the sidewalk in the rain, giving your umbrella to a stray dog. You didn't even notice me. But I saw you. This soft, stubborn, blue-eyed rich kid sitting alone in the rain, holding an umbrella over a stray dog like nothing else mattered. My throat tightened. Ansel looked down at his hands. I told myself not to care. Just do the job. But then everything went to hell, and I thought, if he dies, if you die, I'll never forgive myself. So I stepped in. I kissed you. I fought for you. I ran with you. Because I already loved you, Chris. You just didn't know it yet. I didn't say anything. I just reached for him and kissed him like my life still depended on it. Because maybe it did. We live in this tiny beach house now. It's crooked in all the ways that make you love a place more. The porch leans a little, the floorboards groan every time we walk, and the faucet drips like it's got rhythm. The coffee machine sputters like it's dying a slow death every morning, but Ansel refuses to let it go. Says it's got character. Our names, our fake ones, are scrawled in faded ink on the mailbox out front. The wind knocks it over at least twice a week. We gave up fixing it. It just kind of lives like that now, like us. We shop at this little grocery store where a woman named Margot slips us extra pastries and wings like she knows everything, but won't tell a soul. She's nosy in a sweet way, like a small-town oracle in an apron. But you know what? I've never felt safer. Mornings are slow here. Ansel makes his terrible black coffee. I sit with my tea. We curl up on the porch in mismatched sweaters and watch the sunrise like it's a movie we've seen 1,000 times and still love. He sometimes rests his hand on my knee without thinking about it. I always notice. I sleep now, most nights, all the way through. I don't flinch when the wind rattles the windows or cars roll by. Not every time, anyway. And Ansel? He laughs. Full, bright, stupid loud belly laughs. The kind that makes you laugh too, just because it's his. Sometimes I catch him watching me when he thinks I won't notice, like he still can't believe I'm here, like I'm the miracle. One night, after dinner, the dishes still warm in the rack and the world so quiet it felt like ours alone, I slid across the couch and curled into him. His hoodie smelled like sun and sea salt and everything I've come to call home. I looked up at him and whispered, "That first kiss saved my life." He didn't answer right away. He just pulled me closer, like I was the most precious thing he'd ever held, pressed a soft kiss to my temple, and murmured against my skin. And every kiss after that gave me one. It's wild thinking about how it all started. With a kiss, I never meant to mean anything, just a way to survive, but it became everything. We've come a long way since then. From blood and betrayal to sunrises and safety. I found my mum and sister a few months ago, hidden, scared, but alive. Losing Dad, it broke something in me. I flew back for the funeral. I stood where he should have stood and gave it all to my sister. The company, the name, I wanted none of it. Just peace. Just him. Turns out, they adore Ansel. Mum hugs him like a son. My sister teases him like she's known him forever. And now, we're planning a small wedding. June. Just us. Family. Maybe Margot with her pastries. I still can't believe the man I kissed to save my life is the one I get to marry. Do you believe in fate? Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to become a part of our Rainbow Force and stay wholesome.